Hi Stampers, this is Trevis. Today is Technique Tuesday. And so what I'm going to work on today with you is called a technique that a lot of people are calling smushing. Some people call it smacking acetate. It's kind of clever, cute idea. I'm calling it wet ink to paper because that's basically what it is. And when I see that, I can remember what I'm doing next. So the samples that I showed were such a hit that I thought, well, this would be a good technique to show. It seemed like there was a lot of responses to, yes, show us this technique. It's been around for a long time, but needless to say, we forget some of our old techniques and we start new techniques. So let's get started. I want to show you the two samples that I displayed that actually got the interest going. This one is, I used the sunflower dye, and I smushed ink that's just Jade and Bumblebee. And then this one I really like. This was my second one I made, and I used again the sunflower, and I used the saying from Celebrate Sunflowers. I like the black though. I think it makes it pop. And these two colors, as you can probably tell, are last year's in colors. This is Rococo Rose and what's the other color called? The other color is called Seaside Spray. So let's get started. I'll show you the technique, and then I should warn you that every one of your cards is going to look different. So if you do this 10 times, you're going to get 10 different cards, which is kind of cool. And also, I did want to tell you that the die I'm using today is from Butterfly Beauty. So this is a really cool die. I cut this out on my Big Shot ahead of time, soon to be cut and embossed, right? But still a big shot for now. I did apply the adhesive sheets to the back before I ran it through because this is so much detail that this will help it stick really quick and easy. So the adhesive sheets are back. You get 12 6x12 sheets in a pack for 10 bucks. So I thought that was really great price. So, you know, basically you're going to get a lot. And I'm just going to show you how that works. So let's get started today. Again, I'm calling it wet ink to paper. I am using watercolor paper. I like watercolor paper for this technique. I like it for other techniques too, but this one is especially good because it's really forgiving. And you probably, probably need that a little bit when you're doing this. So the two colors I'm going to use of ink, I'm going to use Bermuda Bay and Magenta Madness. This is the new in color. This is an old color that we've had for a while, Bermuda Bay. But when I think of butterflies, I kind of think of these two colors together, and I really like it. And then black, of course, is a neutral. So I am going to show you the technique. So the first thing you want to do is get some kind of a piece of plastic. And this can be, it can be a cello bag. It can be, in fact, the thing I'm using is it's just a piece of plastic from when my husband bought some socks, and he was going to throw it away, and I'm like, wait a minute, I like the thickness of it. I like this piece. So I grabbed it before he could throw it away. Crazy, I know. So if you don't have the pad, you can do this with your markers. Okay, so if you have the markers, you have the pad, you can do this technique, either one. So what I'm going to do first is just take my fingertips and pull some ink onto the plastic like that. Okay, and you obviously don't need full coverage, just need a little bit of ink. And then you're going to take your water bottle, and this is just an old bottle that mist was in, cleaning mist, and I'm just going to spritz it. Okay, so you want to get a nice coverage. Okay, I could probably spritz it just a tad more. I got pretty much ink on there. Okay, so I'm going to spritz that, and you're going to smush it around like that to cover it. And then you're just going to take your cardstock, and you are going to lay it down. And I think this is kind of cute. I heard girls say that it's like kissing your grandmother, soft and gentle. So you want to just smush it softly onto your cardstock, just like that. And you can't really move it around much because once it's on there, it's on there. Okay, so there's my first color. I like it. It's bright, which is what I wanted when I think of butterflies. Now I'm just going to clean this off. my paper towel. And you want to make sure you get that ink off because when you add the next color, you don't want it to be muted and dull. So clean that ink off, okay? And then the next color I'm going to use is the Bermuda Bay. And again, I'm just going to touch it to the pad, just like that. And spritz it up. Okay. These are very bright colors. So if you like the more muted colors, you need to pick pads or markers that are, you know, a little less bright. Okay. Now I am going to add this to this one. So here we go. I'm going to turn it over. Kiss your grandma. Yikes, it's really stuck. I'm not sure that this was my best plastic to use, but when I saw it, I was like, ooh, it's really bright. Okay, so it's really super bright. A lot of ink. Okay, so maybe next time I would go with a little less ink. I am going to blot some of that ink off before it dries. There, I like it better. I like it better. A little less ink. Okay, so like I said, every one of these is going to look different. Okay, so now, pretty clean, that's cool. So now there's my background. And now I'm going to show you, so I have my die cut out. Okay, and I'm just going to take your pick tool, pop this out. I love this butterfly die. It's so awesome. Lots of detail though. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is take off the adhesive sheet. Okay. This makes life so easy because I could put glue on the back of this, all right? And it would take me, you know, 5 or 10 minutes. This is just quick and easy. Now I'm going to place this onto my cardstock. And I'm going to let it hang over a little if it wants to. It's designed for this size card, so it's not going to hang over too much. All right. So now you see how quick and easy that stuck. And using watercolor paper, it dried really fast. If you're going to use just regular white cardstock, it might take a little longer for your ink to dry. So you might want to give it a few more extra minutes or use your heat gun to dry it. Okay, love it. Now I'm going to mount that on a piece of black. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Stampin' Seal. And remember our trick, right? Lift up. That's been a lifesaver, guys. This has helped me use this adhesive. Learning how to use it. So now I'm just going to layer this on a piece of black. And then I'm going to mount it on a piece of Bermuda Bay cardstock. So this is 8.5 by 5.5. And I'm trying to decide if I want to pop it up. Might be kind of cute if I did. So I think I'm going to use some dimensionals. I'm going to use 4 in the corners and 1 in the center. So I'm going to take, there's a learning curve to doing this. I'm getting better at it using my pick tool to take off these. Not perfect by any means, but I'm learning and I'm better at it. They're all sticky now. I'm going to pop this up just a little bit. Center that. Whoa. Okay, let's center this. I'm going to get my head in the camera, so I want to make sure. Okay, like that a lot. Now I need a saying. And so I'm going to use this. I actually need a thank you card. And when I saw this thanks a bunch from Celebrate Sunflowers, I'm like, well, it doesn't necessarily only apply to flowers. It can be butterflies, and there are a bunch. So I'm going to stamp Thanks a Bunch in the Magenta Madness. And I'm going to use my little paper cutter. So we have the little paper cutter now. These are available to you all. They're $10. I love it. So tiny. It's perfect for photos or any kind of scrapbooking especially. But look, it's so perfect for this too. So I'm just going to lay this in here. And I'm going to make this 3/4 of an inch. Okay. And then I'm going to use my my punch to do my, because I have people all the time that ask me this, how do you get that little fishtail so perfect? Well, I usually wing it. But look, if you want to use your punch, you can do that. Here's my way to do it. I usually just cut and then cut up to the point. But I don't have my scissors right here, so we're just going to do this. Okay, so we have our fishtails. I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on here also. Just 2 dimensionals, 3 dimensionals. Yeah, let's do 3 dimensionals. I'm loving this card more and more the more I look at it. And I'm going to put this right here. Okay, and then I'm going to, because this is dark inside, pretty dark to write on, I am going to go ahead and put a piece of white cardstock inside. So this is 5 by 3 3/4. And I'm going to put that inside. So you get a nice thick border using that size. Okay, so there's our card today. I'm calling it Wet Ink to Paper. You can call it whatever you like. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks. Bye.